board split. I think this is probably the most confusing aspect of any type of cycler program. It doesn't matter what company it is. So I'm going to go real slow here and try to hopefully that you'll get a full understanding here of exactly how these boards split and why they split the way that they do. All right, so we're going to start with the 2x3, and as long as you understand the 2x3s, the 2x2s work the exact same way. So we'll get a full understanding on this right here to kind of show you, why these boards split and what this is all about. Okay, the 2x3 board has 8 available positions at the bottom. That's where everybody starts when they begin the cycler program. Okay, this 2x3 board that you're looking at already has the 8 positions filled up. So we're going to kind of walk through this process, and then I'm going to show you what the final boards will look like after they've split so that you can see this. All right, we've already done some videos on the jump feature, the pay it forward feature, and about how all that works. So let me just kind of walk you through this. Let's say that the last person joined on the 8 line, and that's that blue plunger there where you see my cursor pointing to. That last person has finally joined, okay? Now, during the process of this board being built, Mike was one of the first ones to turn red. Sue was one of the second ones to turn red. And then you had Rick, who turned red third. And this is what the board looked like when the 8 line was filled up. After the shuffle, this is what the board looks like. You've got Mike, who would be over here on the left. You've got Sue, who would be on the right because of the time and date stamped in the order that they turned red. And, of course, you got Rick. And then the system automatically starts to place all of the yellow plungers in the order that they arrived on the board. And then it takes all the blue plungers and does the exact same thing. And that's the board that you see on the right after the shuffle. Now, the guy at the top, who was Tom, he's going to leave this board and automatically be placed into a 2x2. Hopefully some of the other videos that you've watched can have explained how that works. This is what you're left with, and this is what's very, very important for people to understand. This is the 2 boards after the split, okay? I'll go ahead and put the names up here so you guys can see what these boards look like. If you remember, Mike was on the left, Sue was on the right, and then 8 new positions opened up at the bottom. So now we've got 8 new positions on Group 2, 8 new positions on Group 3. Here's where a lot of people get confused. They don't understand why the board split and why they have to split. Well, in any cycler program, that has to be done. Actually, let me go back a screen here. That has to be done, and here's the reason why. Those 8 positions are representing 8 different sales, okay? That's 8 different people that have joined, and in this case, it's $89 a piece. So that generates $712 every single time 8 positions are filled up. That $712 is what's used to pay people on the 2x3s and the 2x2s and the other 2x2s and on and on. That's how the money gets generated because of those sales of people that are joining these boards. The reason that it has to split is because, first of all, just using simple elementary math, if the board didn't split, there simply wouldn't be enough money to be able to pay out to people, and it just wouldn't be worth anybody's time. So that's the first reason. The second reason that the boards need to split is because at the time and date stamp that people come in, that's how people are placed back in order again, and after those boards are split, that's how people move through the system. Now, one of the things that I love about this cycler program, and I don't know that I've ever seen this done in one before, is there is an ending point. If you're familiar with this particular program, you start on a 2x3, then you feed to a 2x2, then you feed to another 2x2, and then you feed to another 2x2, and that's the end of the ride. The game's over with. You've made 10 grand. If you want to come back through again, by all means, you certainly can. I would highly recommend that you do that. $89 spent one time to make 10 grand is a pretty good investment. But getting back to the reason I mentioned that is this. That ending point, guys, is very instrumental in the cycling program. I've been involved with some other cycling programs that had no ending point. They just continue to keep cycling. Now, you would go from one 2x2 to another 2x2 to another 2x2, and this would just continue on to infinity. And what that does is that means it takes a lot of people to be able to make a program like that work. And if you got a lot of people, great. You can make some good money with them. But for those of us that don't, having an ending point is crucial, because what that does is that guarantees you guys that the boards will only split to a certain width, and they simply can't split anymore. In fact, if you're using the jump feature that we trained about in one of the other videos, and you jump straight to the pay line from the 8 line, that means your board only split one time. And then you would go to a 2x2, and it's going to split again. And you go to another 2x2, and it's going to split. And you go to another 2x2, and it's going to split. And guys, you got what there, 4 or 5 splits, and that's it. And you generated 10 grand. That's what I loved about this. In fact, when I found out there was an ending point, a lot of people hear that and they go, oh my gosh, I can only make 10,000 one time. Guys, that was the best news I ever heard, because having an ending point ensures you and all of us that the boards can only split to a certain width, because just simple math will tell you this. Once a board splits, you now have 2 boards. And then when those 2 boards split, you're going to have 4 boards. And then when those 2 boards split, you're going to have 8 boards. And then when those 2 boards split, you're going to have 16. And before you know it, you've got 32 and 64. Guys, it takes a lot of people to fill up boards like that, but because of that ending point, you only have to go through 4 boards here to be able to generate $10,000. Now, a lot of people, I just want to kind of close out with this, they can't really comprehend how a company that takes in $89 is able to pay out $10,000 by coming off the board. Well, it's all because of the sales. See, every single person is enrolling 2 people. Those 2 people are generating $89. Well, we all know that it takes 8 people to split a board, so that's $712 that has been generated that pays out $100 to one person that comes off the 2x3. Then somebody in that 2x2 is going to get paid. The next 2x2 is going to get paid. The next 2x2 is going to get paid. So there's plenty of money to go around, guys. Don't ever worry about that. And that's the design of the program, and that's what keeps it sustainable, and that's what makes it all happen and makes it all work. But the thing I love about this is it's just so simple and easy. We'd love to do these training videos so that people can, kind of have a better understanding of how it works. But God, I can promise you, if you'll keep it very simple and just teach people how you got to enroll 2 people and teach them to do the same thing, all of this happens automatically. I mean, that's what the whole system is designed for. It's all kept up in real time. I love to wake up every morning, fix my cup of coffee, and go and see what happened. In fact, I just got up this morning and went and checked our $2,000 board that we're on right now. We just had another person who landed on it yesterday, or I guess last night while we were sleeping. So nothing like making money when you're sleeping, guys. So hopefully this helps you understand why the boards split and why they have to split and why that's a necessity. But the good thing we got going for us, guys, in this cycle program is there's that ending point, which is so crucial and can make so much money for so many people. I mean, I love to see people who go in and make 10 grand and come right back through and make another 10 grand. And guys, if you've got multiple positions, keep this in mind. We own 4 different positions in this. All of those but one are on 2x2. So just do the math. 4 positions coming through, making 10 grand apiece. It's going to be a good Christmas, guys. So hopefully this helps you out and you understand why and how the board split and why that's a necessity. And we'll see you on the next training video.